Hi everyone, so if you live in a country like me, New Zealand, you will know that nail polish costs a heap here. For those who don't know, OPI is like $27 in the shops. China Glaze isn't even on the shelves. I think it's like $20 from New Zealand online stores. Generally anything more than $2 shop brands are $20 plus. Basically we can't get a lot of nail polish cheap here, and so what I'm going to be doing today is a review of the cheap nail polish brands. Just because they're cheap doesn't mean they're bad. I think in America cheap means bad as well, but here in New Zealand cheap just means low priced and affordable. So I'm going to be showing you the cheap nail polish I have and what I think of it. One of my favourite cheap brands is Kleancolor. This is really cheap in New Zealand. It's only about $2, $3 normally. For a start, they're really well presented bottles. They're nice and big. They're 15 mils, I think. They have really nice range of colours. Another thing I like about Kleancolor is their consistency. It can go a bit thick, but it also makes it a bit more opaque that way, so I've never really had a problem with it. I'll open this bottle because this is quite a good example of what it's like. See, it's a bit on the gloopy side, but it's not too bad, and it's still, yeah, one coater for this really, so it's really good. So this one's called Catch Me, if you're interested in it. And this one is Chunky Hollow Black. Basically, they're a really good brand for what you pay for. Yeah, the chemicals in them might not be all great, but just have a window open and be safe when you're using the nail polish. Don't sniff it, you know. I would give Kleancolor probably a 9 out of 10 for just how much I like their polish overall. Alright, so my next cheap brand I'll be reviewing is Jordana. I absolutely love Jordana nail polish. It's been a long-term fave of mine. Unlike the Kleancolor, it does actually say in the bottle that it is DBP, I can't say these words, toluene and formaldehyde free, so they are 3 free. But basically Jordana holds its consistency really well. It's quite thin even years later. I don't use these very often at all, I must say, anymore, but I do keep them around because occasionally I will need a green, say in this colour. But see, they're still quite thin considering how old it is. In New Zealand you can get Jordana from anywhere between $2.50 and $5. That's another thing, they have a huge range of colours, they're really good like that. I should mention that I've also had a really bad experience with Jordana nail polish. I used one called Lilac Hearts and it ended up leaving horrendous staining on my nails. I've got a post about it on my blog somewhere, and I was very grumpy about this because my nails went completely destroyed. You know, I do think it was partly my fault too. I did heaps and heaps of layers, but you want to do that because you want to get heaps of hearts in your nails. So basically if you buy Lilac Hearts by Jordana, be really careful. Don't put on 10 coats like I did just to get the hearts. Be happy with 2 or 3 hearts. So I would give Jordana nail polishes a 9 out of 10 as well. I'm so positive today. LA Colors is another really good brand. They are from either Posty or the Warehouse here in New Zealand. Posty is amazing for nail polish in general. They have so many nail polishes and makeup too, all really cheap, so go there. So here are 2 colours I've got up to show you. One is called Candy Sprinkles Summertime, which is a really nice name, I think. These ones I'm not as fond of as I am of the other 2. Partly because they're a little bit smaller and I like big nail polish bottles, and partly because I've found that quite a few of the polishes in the past aren't very opaque and you need a few coats to make them be opaque. And no, they're still really good. Overall I'll probably give LA Colors a 7 out of 10. Now LA Colors seem to also have a whole bunch of other extensions of their brand, like they have LA Girls. I have barely used these to be honest, so I can't really say much about them, but they seem okay. Don't remember them actually smelling fruity, but most scented nail polish doesn't. What I do really like by LA Colors are these, Art Deco polishes, which have a really nice thin brush for doing nail art. The bad thing about these polishes is that they get really gloopy and gross really quickly. So you've got to add heaps of thinner in, otherwise it's just going to get all over your nail. Another thing about LA Colors Art Deco that is good is that they're quite opaque. You only need 1 coat normally and it'll do the design just fine. So overall I would give LA Colors Art Deco maybe a 7.5. They would get like 10 out of 10 if they didn't get so freaking gloggy. I just remembered that also Jordana has the same sort of polishes. These tend to hold their consistency a little bit better, but like this one is still quite new, so it's fine. But they also do get gloggy over time. I don't know, I do like the Jordana one slightly more. And I'm a really lazy person and hate washing my brushes, and so this avoids that problem. But yeah, Jordana Pop Art polish. Some other $2 shop brands that I've picked up over the years are Charm Max, I think. I don't know. I guess so. I think it's just one of those really, really cheap brands you buy. I have no idea. But it's done the job. I've used it quite a bit for tribal, this one, because it's quite a cool tribal-y kind of colour. What you need to do is undo the screw lid, screw cap thing, and there's, oh, that's not very nice. Normally it'd be straight, but I guess I shoved it in wrong last time. And so it's one of those nail art brushes, and also it has a dotter. And same with this, I don't even know what the brand is. I think it's M Eizilan or something like that. But I've used this lots too, and it's got the same thing, except for apparently it's fused on. Okay, screw that. But it's got the dotting thing as well. So I guess overall, $2 shop dotting tools and striping brushes, maybe 6 out of 10 because I do get gloggy really, really quickly. Sorry, this is a bit of a long video compared to normal, but you know, it's been requested enough. Hopefully it'll help some people. Mode is another really good brand that's really cheap. They're slightly more expensive here in New Zealand. I think they're more like $6 compared to $3, $4, $5, but they're still a really good price. I haven't found anything wrong with the consistency of this. I don't think I've ever had one go gloggy. Yeah, that's still fine. Yeah, so they have a huge range. I think you can buy them in pharmacies mostly, chemists. In case you're wondering, this one is called VIP and this one is called Starry Night. That's a weird name, it's green. Overall I would give Mode 9 out of 10. Kleancolor, Mode, Jordana, all really good polishes for the price they are. Another brand I really wanted to review was Miki. Miki's also in pharmacies. They're quite cheap, they're really cheap. It's 2 for $6 I think. They do come in really tiny bottles. I'm using this Born Pretty Store hollow polish as an example of the bottle they come in because they're very similar to this, but they've got a silver lid and they might be slightly bigger. I found on most nail polish brands the brush doesn't even reach the last quarter of polish, which is really frustrating because you're tipping your bottle on its side trying to get to it and that sort of stuff, and that's the biggest problem with Miki. I wouldn't really recommend Miki. The colours are all lovely in that, but they don't have a huge range either. So Miki 5 out of 10. First started getting into nail polish back in April 2012. I went straight to the $2 shop and brought a whole bunch of CR nail polishes. I didn't believe in OPIs back in those days. I thought they were all the same, just priced differently because people wanted money, which is still true to a certain extent. I really like CR nail polish for some reasons. Like, they have a huge range and they have some really cool polishes. I will always use this polish because I like using glitters for like cupcake sprinkles and stuff like that. However, they do go gluggy really quickly. Expect within 6 months they'll be gross. Like this one here. Oh. And they do that a lot as well. I'm not even sure you can see. It's pretty gluggy anyway. It's not as bad as they can be, but chances are I put thinner in this last time I used it. Oh, and it smells pretty bad too. A lot of people say Kleancolor smells bad. I haven't actually noticed, but all nail polish smells bad really. CR are really cheap. They're only about $2 and they're from $2 shops. So CR I would give 6 out of 10. Better than Miki because they've got big bottles, I should have mentioned that. They are 18 mils. That's as big as Orly. That's really good. For the longest time I was calling Ultra 3. I just didn't read it properly or something. I called them that for like 6 months. But yeah, so Ultra 3. These are quite a new brand to me comparatively. I got these a while ago from my nana. I got a pack of about 10 of them. And so far they're really good, but I haven't used them a lot to be honest. It seems a bit unfair now. Like, they do seem good. Like, every time I have used them there's been, you know, 1 or 2 coats and it nothing stands out as bad. Yeah, but I think they've got quite a good reputation overseas for their price. Yeah, good consistency still after like a year. So Ultra 3, I'd give it like a hesitant 8 out of 10 just from my experience so far. The last cheap brand I'll do today is Sinful Colors. These are a relatively new edition in New Zealand. We don't have a lot of the nail polish that you awesome American people do. I'm so jealous. But I recently got my hands on a few of these because they started coming out in pharmacies for about $6, $7. And I really like them so far. They have really big bottles. They're really attractive too, I think. 15 mils. And they've got really cool colours. So, no, 8 out of 10 I'd say. Yep, they are 3 free. So that's good. Bonus for them. I'll make that 9 out of 10 then. So I think that's about it. I hope this helped somebody. I'm not really sure how helpful it was, but at least you know the nail polishes I use. And when it comes down to it, all these nail polishes I have here I kept for a reason. And yeah, some of them, like CR, are gluggy and gross sometimes, but that doesn't mean they're not worth having. It's just something to bear in mind. So by all means, if you want to go to a dress up party and have bright green nail polish, go get it. Don't spend $30 in a store on OPI if you're going to wear it for one night and never wear it again. So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you in your country have different brands that we have that are cheap, or what you consider cheap. Share your stories. Thanks for watching and I'll see you later.